Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Fist of Fury, and I'm back to do a little bit more YouTube. I am sorry that I've been gone so long. My sister had some major problems. She had her appendix removed and stuff, so she needed help with her kids and stuff. So I apologize for not being online, but at the same time, it's like I had to take care of family first. So my apologies for being gone so long. But I want to talk about an interesting topic today, real quick, when I'm starting the game up for you, because I'm going to be playing a game for you guys to watch, and I'm going to be talking about this. Obviously, you already read the title. It's no beating around the bush what I have to describe. Basically, we're talking about the premium tanks, and if people don't know premium tanks, I'll explain real quick for people that don't. They're basically tanks that you buy with money, and basically you get more rewards, more better stuff, and you get like better matchmaking depending on which tank. Now on to the nitty gritty. Yeah, because this topic has been said to me a lot lately. Like, premium tanks are becoming quite of a nuisance in my opinion. It's like there's so many fucking duplicates, so many fucking premium tanks. I mean, there's like a total of 173 premium tanks in the game in total. That's a fucking a lot. But that wasn't the reason I'm talking today. I'm talking about like people we're talking about, like these people who buy premium tanks for beginners. That's right. Like, should like premium tanks be locked for specific tiers? Now, for this example, you have to understand one thing. Like, premium tanks, you can buy them anytime you want with real life money, and basically you can get them anywhere at any time, and you can play them anywhere at anything. So they're not punishing tanks, they just buy you up ahead to get you stuff. They basically make the most money in the game, and they mostly help you with your crew training a lot more faster than any tank. Now, people having a problem with this because out of all the recent tanks that came out, so many people are buying these tanks through basically getting low tiers and up to high tiers, and that's a really big problem because you got kids that are starting off in this game. Like, literally, this is how bad it is. Like, this is like a shady, greedy business. It's like, basically, oh, if you play all the tiers, you have to grind through all this with and earn whatever money you get. But if you give me like $59.99, I will give you a tier 8 that will help you get through with all the money expenses. It's shady business as usual. But the thing is, what people get so upset is because most of these premium tanks in their tier are too fucking expensive to run. Like, for example, if you're driving a tier 8 and you got the very cool tier 8, you wanted to get it till you get to tier 10, but you need a good team to watch over you. But then you're surrounded by so many premium tanks in the game. So here's the thing. Like, the premium tanks are like game breakers, because if you got a person that only plays up to tier 2s and he's playing a tier 8, he's not going to know what that tier 8 player is doing. I mean, it's shit. If a tier 2 starts playing tier 8, he's going to think like, oh, it's just like tier 2, I'm going to charge right in. That's not how the game works. Like, there's so much difference between the game. There is like not anything that's, I mean, it's not bad. I mean, even if he dies, he makes a lot of money. But the point is, players don't have that ability. Players have to deal with, like, you know, matchmakings and stuff like that. And when they get finally a good game, they don't want to be dicked over by noobs. And that's the problem. And I've been seeing that a lot more lately. I've been seeing, like, defenders fucking showing their frontal plate armor with their underbelly exposed, getting hit all the time. I've seen people that try to charge up with weak armored tanks like the Foch 155. I mean, not 155, I mean, yeah, Foch 155, that's not a premium tank. If it was yet. Well, it is on PC, but I'm just saying, like, it would have been nice, like, to see it in here, finally. But, but that's another topic for another day. And I meant to say the FCM50T. Charging up and completely like what I'm doing, charging up to the enemy with weak ass armor up against TDs that are stronger. I even seen fucking, like, what's another one? A Tiger 131 charging up a Tiger 2 against swarms of people. It's like, you don't do that. I'm probably gonna die here. But that's the thing. Like, should these tanks be locked away? Like, this is what my friend says, and I kind of agree with him. Like, these tanks you could buy, but they should not like be available like right in the beginning of the game. They should be available to people that research. For example, if you want a tier 8 premium tank, you must own at least 1/7. Not in that race, because that'll be fucking hard as hell to get any tier 8 you want. That'll be just cruel. I'm talking about just having one tier 7 in general. Like if you got up to 1 to 7 in the tech tree, at any race, any tech tree, you should be able to buy any tier 8s and 7s, because at that point you're going to the next tier, but you are playing and knowing what the tier is going to be. You see what I'm saying? Like if you want a tier 5 premium tank or a tier 4, you have to at least get up to a tier 3 or a tier 4. Like you have to get up to those tiers in order to get it, and that's what my friends are saying. And personally, it's hard to describe this, honestly. It really is hard to describe this, because I can understand what people are getting at, because these tanks, I mean, look at this. I got the filter on. I'm only missing one tank out of that whole premium, but look at how many there fucking are. It's just so fucking bad that we're getting so many of these premium tanks, and people are spamming it like crazy, but the fact is nobody has the concept of, actually experiencing with them, because people go out there and charge and think that. And here's the biggest problem of them all, in my opinion, because people do online reviews and stuff, and yes, I do it too, but at least I'm giving you an opinion, my opinion. But people look up to Quickie Baby, Mighty Jingles, all these reviewers that are out there, and people don't realize when they play the tank, they don't realize that you have to have a specific skill. Like, for example, when you say, like, you bought the game. I mean, not bought the game. You got the game. You got paid $69.99. You could basically buy whatever premium tank in the tech tree. Just basically, hands down, you could get any one you want. Now, and then people are saying, like, well, I'm going to get the race and I'm working on it. I'm going to buy the most expensive tank and get used to it. But here's the problem. If the player is so good at driving flanking stuff, you're not going to want to buy an IS-6. If you're good at, like, say, for example, sniping, you don't want the 112. Like, you see what I mean? Like, people buy these tanks because people review it thinking, like, oh, I'm going to do good because this person did good online. Or the fact is, I could do so much damage or do much a thing. But the people don't realize that in order to play these tanks, you have to know who you are. Like, you have to know what percent. That's the reason why so many people want to lock these tanks away, because when people play the tiers so many times, they understand what they are. Like, I never thought in a million years I would be a heavy, medium, and TD, but I hate playing light tanks and arties. I hate playing them because I'm not good at them. But there's people out there that could 3-mark it. For example, like, there's the LTTB, that's the standard tank. I could not get used to that, but there's people out there that could 3-mark it. I cannot stand the German artillery, the tier 10 GWE 100. I can't stand it, but then there's people out there who can do it. You see what I mean? Like, this is like a whole process of elimination of who you are. You have to figure out who you are before buying a tank. And that's the biggest problem with people is they buy the tank thinking they're going to be a badass motherfucker and not realizing that the tank itself, you need to be good yourself in order to make the tank work. And that's the problem, because people are buying these tanks right off the bat without even knowing how to play the game. And that's a huge problem. And I get it. A lot of people are going to say, well, this is console theory. A lot of people are dumb like that, but I don't think so. There's a lot of people that can be really smart in this game. It's just the fact is, so many people just mistakenly don't realize the potential of what tanks there are, or who they are. And I get it. There's a lot of people that want to drive the tanks, and they're like, oh, but I don't, like, of the Death Star line, I don't want to grind through all that. That's not even play up to that. Yes, I know. But that's called skills and talents. It's teaching you the tank. Like for example, like I said, the Death Star line. you got that powerful Death Star. Everybody wants it because it does one-shot damage that does so much great damage. Then you have to go down the annoying AT line and they're like, oh, I'm going to bypass all this shit here and like buy all this then and like, but you're not learning the tank of what you're supposed to do. Like, for example, like if the AT line you really hate it and you have to learn to snipe and stuff, that's basically what you have to do with the Death Star. You can't really go out there with the Death Star and expect to be fucking Jesus. I mean, yeah, you can one-shot things like Jesus, but you got to learn to keep your distance because you've got that 32-second reload that you're trying to keep them away from you. And that's the problem. It's just people bypass it so quick that they don't realize what the tank is designed to do. And that's what the lower tiers are meant to do. Ah, shit, I'm going to die again. Yeah, I'm going to be dead. Hang on, I'm going to be quiet for a minute so I can concentrate. Because I really don't want to play this mission again. Ah, damn it. Okay, guys, I forgot to mention one little thing, too. That I understand the reason I'm going to get this argument a lot. That's why I'm going to say this right now. I understand to the fact is people are going to flood my messages saying like, oh, I buy a tier 8 premium tank because my friend has a tier 8, but I just began World of Tanks, but I wanted to play tiers with them. That is fine. I mean, I get it. That's this whole argument thing of locking premium tanks thing that I mentioned. I can understand to a point that it's not going to win either side. I mean, there's no way to really argue about it. I mean, personally, I was going to say in the video that I agree with this locking thing, but more and more I think about it, it's very hard to answer. I mean, there's both 50-50 on it. There's people out there that want you to get this tanks when you have that necessary skill requirement. And there's things out there that people do to basically play with their friends. Like, for example, I was one of those people. My friends had the Tiger II when I first started World of Tanks. I did not have a Tiger II. So I had to buy a 7 and an 8, but I basically didn't know the game and I got my ass handed to me so many times. And the 8 was my Lion and the 7 was the Panzer 5M10. Yeah, I bought that. That was my first tier 7 and my first tier 8. Now, and people will say like, well, Fury, you learned the game pretty well, so you can have the title of learning that. But here's the problem, though. It's like, I can understand everybody being arguing about this. It's not easy. And the fact is, the reason why people are arguing about it and they wouldn't mind it is the fact is it's too expensive for other people. Like I said in the thing, like, I'm not going to say it again, but it's just too much money to run, and it's just, when you got so many people that don't know what they're doing with their premium tanks and stuff, it's just like hard to do anything. And I understand what people are going to say back to me, saying that, oh, well, it's like we need people that know what they're doing, and then there's people like, oh, I need this tank to get to the friends and stuff. See, this is what I mean, like, it's very hard, because it could go either way. Personally, I want to leave it to you guys. What do you think is the better answer, honestly? Me personally, I honestly don't mind people getting premium tanks if they do it for friends and stuff. But I understand to the point what they're arguing is saying, like, we don't want people that are noobs playing high tiers and then dooming me as a gamer because it costs way too much money. And it is freedom of choice of what you do. But the thing is, the only argument I really have is the fact is, I hate the fact that you have to spend so much money on a tank. Now that's an argument anyone can fucking agree that this shit needs to stop. I mean, these premium tanks making needs to stop. There's 174, 173. Sorry, this shit needs to stop. We got too many tanks. It's enough as it is, and it's getting to the point now where they're taking our maps away. Okay, what the hell's wrong with my controller? Stop. Hold still! Well, thank you, Artie, for making me hold still, but I didn't want to lose my driver and my fucking radio man at the same time. the fuck's wrong with my controller? It's my controller. It's not the tank. It's like I move it slightly up. It just goes too far up. It's like, stop. Okay, fire explosives. But me personally, I honestly don't know. I really do not know, and people always want my opinion on it. But me personally, it's your guys' decision. It's your money, your life. If you want to make that decision, go for it. Nobody should be doubting what you do. I should not be doubting what you do. Nobody should be doubting what you do, what you bought and spent and all that, and it's no thing like that. But the fact is, if you play the game and you're dooming people, remember this, that when you're failing so many times and not doing well, you are dooming the other people that have to do negatives on their tanks. Because, like I said, premium tanks makes the most out of any game. They can walk away with anything, no matter how bad or good it is. Regular tanks will lose a shit ton of money. So that's the problem. But I'm going to leave it to this because this is really a mixed bag. My opinion leads toward both. I kind of like it when you do lock it a little bit, but at the same time, I don't want to be that asshole to a new person that's trying to play with his friends with high tiers. Me personally, if you're going to have high tiers and you don't know what you're doing, find a person who does know what you're doing and let them teach you. Let them teach you how to play the game. Take them to team training and let them teach you. I'm just saying, the more you know about your tank and the more you find out about you, not just the tank, you in general, the player, knowing who you are. Are you a light tank, TD, arty, freaking medium, heavy, whatever. Find out who you are and find out what type of gameplay style you want in that kind of heavy, medium, light, or whatever, and learn it. Learn it. Because then there's going to be people like this. Hang on. Because I was a nobody. Everybody can argue saying, like, I did this, I bought this and stuff. But look at this with the years of training with it. This is my Lion tank. Why is the marks not showing? Hang on. Okay, sorry guys. Then I got this after 300 battles of knowing the tank after that. That's 3 marks on that barrel. You already know this from my Lion tank review, but that's 3 marks. Look at the Tiger 131. People say that tank is very hard to 3 mark. Look, that's from experience of knowing the Tiger line. I actually know how to play it. You see what I mean, guys? Or look at the Japanese. The Japanese Tiger I have. Yes, it's a bad tank, but look at that. 2 marks. Because I understand how the play style of a Tiger works. You see what I mean? Knowing your tank will make you a legend and make you tons of credits if you know what you are. I am a heavy driver in heart in this game. That is my motto. That is who I am. Find out who you are and make your tanks better. Don't be like one of those people that charges up an attack. Be creative. Be tactical. Be somebody who could be it. And you might be a legend in some cases. Like me, I'm a legend in my Lion tank. But you could be a legend in any other tank. Please, go out and buy whatever you want. Don't buy a premium tank unless you don't know who you are. But maybe just don't buy a premium tank. Buy something else. Buy a game or something. It's up to you. It is your choice. Nobody should not be yelling at you or punishing you because you're a bad player or anything. You're just learning your tank. Everybody can be good if you learn your tank. Nobody's bad. It's just poor training. But the fact is, try not to spend too much money on tanks that you don't know if you will like it or not. And don't go by just reviews, don't go by the things, go by people who actually play it constantly. Go to people who play it a lot to where you will understand it. Or if you can, find a friend who has the tank and let them share profiles and see if you drive it a little bit and see if you like it. See, this is another thing I really, really wish they had in here. Like, you got this stupid premium tank thing, and then you see the details, but you don't see what matchmaking it plays into. You don't see what matchmaking it plays to, and you can't have a button that says test drive. If it had test drive, then I could say do that, play it a couple of times in that test drive, and then decide. But nope, they don't have it. Sorry guys, my recording got corrupted there, but I'm just going to leave it as that. Thank you all so much for watching, guys, and take care of yourself, guys, and don't let nobody judge you for who the tank you drive. If you have a tank that everybody hates, just drive it. Do not discreet. Do not be judged. Just play the game, as a game should be. I'm Fist of Fury, and thank you all so much for watching.